Hi, good morning everyone. So I'm up, I'm going to say bright and early, but it's not really bright and early because it's 11:15. But I'm out for one of my first appointments that I've had on a Monday morning for a while, out to evaluation in Livingston. So got some time on my hands, so thought I would do the fourth video in the series of 5 videos. I know this has taken me a bit longer than what I'd planned to do. It's amazing how things can just take over and life takes over. But here we are. I'm going to talk about overvaluing and undervaluing today. So these are the 5 things that I love about a estate agency and the 5 things I hate about a estate agency. So one of the things I love about a estate agency is negotiating. I love when a buyer comes to me and they have a proposed offer, and I then take that to my client. And then we negotiate from there. I've got to admit, when it comes to the negotiating process, I'm very honest and upfront. I'm very black and white. I don't like the whole game of telephone tennis back and forth by raising it by this and then raising it by that. I've had a lot of experience doing that over the years, but certainly the way that I like to be is just present what the client is looking for, and obviously then negotiate with the buyer if they're able to obviously, pay that price or do that. Quite fortunate that we have the home report. With the home report, that obviously gives you the kind of the minimum price, and it's really, you know, going above that is down to the the buyer's choice, because reality of it is anything over and above the home report value financially comes out their own back pocket. So there's a lot of different elements to factor in if you're a buyer, whether or not you are able to go above the home report, and that can purely be down to finances. It could be that you might be looking to do some work to the property. You even factor in sometimes how long you're planning on staying in the property. So there is a lot of things to consider as a buyer. And certainly as a seller, it's about being realistic in what you are achieving over and above home report value. There's no set price. It really does depend on the interest. Some properties will achieve 2,000 over, some 5, some 15. I've even seen offers above 35,000. Again, it depends on the market. It depends on the property. There's no rhyme or reason to it. As I say, it really does depend on the interest and the property itself. So yeah, it's one of the great parts. There's nothing better than achieving a great offer from your seller. You've got a happy buyer there, the seller's happy, and it's something that really does excite me. I do actually get butterflies in my stomach once I've agreed an offer for a seller. It's a very exciting process. So yes, that's one of the key things I like doing, is negotiating on the properties and finding the right buyer and the strongest buyer for the property. One of the things I hate about estate agency is other estate agents who will either overvalue or even sometimes undervalue. With the undervalue, I've seen a lot of cases in the last year of properties which have actually sold for less than what they should have. Now, one of the reasons why I know this is that there's been other properties that I've taken onto the market which have not been as big, or have maybe not even been as nice, don't have a garage or parking, yet the properties that I've sold have achieved more than the other properties that I've sold and actually have achieved less. So that to me screams inexperience. That's maybe an agent going out who is not very familiar with that market, has maybe not been a valuer for very long, and is going in with too low a price basically. When it comes to the home report, the surveyors only have access to selling prices, for the last 3-4 months, in the past, whereas if you were an experienced agent, the prices that's happening in the market just now, and highly likely that if you're experienced in the area, that you sold a lot of properties in the area, so what you can achieve on them. And sometimes as well, again, it's just some estate agents will just look at comparables online and basically do a like for like. There's a 3-bedroom house that's sold for that price, that's how much this price is worth, when actually when it comes to valuing a property, it's so much more. It's the size of the plot, it's kitchens, bathrooms, the aspect of the garden. I mean, it's all these features that that a buyer is likely to pay more for, rather than just a case of bog standard, it's a 3-bedroom house with a ensuite and a bathroom, and it's this price because that one sold for that. That's not how valuing a property works. Likewise, overvaluing, and you tend to find overvaluing in a market where there's a high demand for stock because the agents are fighting for stock. It's also a very lazy way to win property. If an estate agent's going to go in and basically price the property 10, 15, 20,000 more than the previous agent, then they tempt that seller, they get the seller excited, and all they basically then do is put it onto the market and spend the next, 3, 4, 5 months talking the seller down to a price which is realistic and that the market will accept. Um, and it's an injustice to the seller and the property, because had it actually came on at the right price when it first went to market, the right marketing price, then the property was likely that it would have sold for more. But what they've done is basically they have allowed the property to sit on the market and become stale, and the seller then ends up selling for a lot less than had it actually came on at the right realistic price at the very outset. So always be mindful of estate agents. If you hear a price and you think that sounds too good to be true, usually it is. As a seller, you've got lots of access to information that we as valuers have access to as well. If you go, onto the online sites, you can see what other properties have sold for. It's generally, if you are looking to sell your house, you do have a keen interest, so you've got a bit of an idea of what properties are selling for. So as I say, always be mindful of the estate agent who comes in with this amazing price. It's highly likely they're overvaluing it just to win the business. Likely you'll never see them again, and it'll be the poor property sales negotiator who will have to deal with a very upset client. So yes, that's me, series 4. I've got one left to do. Hopefully I'll get the chance to do it sooner rather than later. But I hope you all have a great Monday and a great week ahead. Take care. Bye.